Son of Batman is the brand new DC animated feature brought to us by director Ethan Spalding, an animation veteran, and written by none other than the great Joe Lansdale, a man who you might know from his Batman the Animated Series work, but who you should most definitely know from his movie work like Bubba Ho-Tep. The movie itself is very loosely based on the Grant Morrison Batman and Son story from the comics. Or maybe it's based on Sanford and Son, I can never remember which one. The story, now famous for introducing readers to Damian Wayne, Bruce's biological son, raised by his mother Talia and the League of Assassins. When Ra's al Ghul, Damian's grandfather and the League's leader, falls to the traitorous Deathstroke, Damian is sent away to live with Bruce for safekeeping, but it's pretty clear the kid is out for revenge and not father-son bonding. Things are complicated even further by Dr. Kirk Langstrom, whose family is kidnapped in exchange for his Man-Bat formula. Jason Mara returns from Justice League War as the voice of Batman, where I think in that movie he was probably the best cast. Here we can see he's grown into the role even more, but make no mistake, this is the Damian show through and through, and everyone else is really just a supporting player. The funny thing about Damian is that everybody hated this character when he was introduced in the comics, and the movie goes out of its way to tone down a lot more of his douchey tendencies and make him a much more likable hero for the movie. TV actor Stuart Allen manages to exude all the proper hard-edged pompousness needed to bring the little assassin tyke to life. Which is good, because for a lot of people, this is going to be their first time meeting Damian Wayne, and the whole movie really does hinge on his performance. It is, however, a shame that the movie seems much more interested in showing how Damian fights as opposed to how Batman is teaching him how to live like a normal person. Oh, these scenes do indeed happen, and we even get a funny little cameo from Nightwing, but it feels oddly thin in places. One more quiet interpersonal scene in my mind would have pushed this movie from just being okay to being really great. Also, Tim Drake is strangely missing from the movie, which is unfortunate because a movie called Batman and Son could very well have had another adopted son in there somewhere. And another thing, while I'm sure I've mentioned this every time I've reviewed one of these new movies, it bears repeating that I'm impressed with the amount of blood and death they are actually able to get away with here. Guys get shot to death, arrows pierce his necks. They certainly hold nothing back this time around. Now, in the past with these DC movies, they've kinda picked their moments, but I dare say the opening attack in this one may have, just kinda rubbed up against the line of gratuitous. But hey, that's just me talking. As a matter of fact, upon reflection, it hits me that this may very well be the closest we've ever gotten to an actual R-rated Batman movie. On the animation side of things, the movie is crisp and pretty. Gotham at Night really pops, and you can tell a lot of money and time was put into it. They also seem to have cured the massive meaty shoulder problem that has plagued the last couple of DC features. In summation, there is a lot to like about Batman and Son. It's a solid animated action flick with a great cast and a cool design aesthetic. It's sadly not as good as what we've already seen from the DC animated universe, and for a Lansdale written piece, it lacks a lot of his quirkiness and charm. Not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination, it's just, well, not Flashpoint Paradox, which as far as I'm concerned is still kind of the gold standard for these. One must also wonder if what they're saying is true and these DC animated movies will attempt to have more of a continuity of films in between. I wonder what that could mean for Damian moving on into the future, and if that means we could possibly maybe down the line get a Batman Inc. movie. I know I would personally be really on board for that. So, until next time, that was my review. Hope you liked it. Please share your thoughts in the comments down below.